We just got a Sage Titanium Powerline in for review. Today we're going to unbox it, take a first look, and see what it's all about. This is the second bike from Sage that I will have reviewed. The first one was the Flow Motion, a 27.5 aggressive rowdy hardtail. This is more of an all-rounder, and I know a lot of you have been asking for all-rounder bikes, stuff that you could race in a cross-country event on the weekend or do a 60-mile ride on, and that's what this bike is. Holy cow, this is a light bike. Beautiful. Ooh, nice. NV bars and stem. This is one of the reasons it's so light. Man, this is beautiful. I don't know that I've featured a carbon stem on this channel yet. And that suits the nature and purpose of this bike. To be a trail / XC all-rounder hardtail. A lot of you don't want slack bikes. And fortunately for you, there are still a lot of options like this. And while some hardtails are getting slacker and slacker, some are not. And most people still have a pretty normal 67.5 degree head tube in their lineup. So you've got lots of options. So don't feel like just because I've been gravitating toward the slack bikes lately that there's no options for you. There are plenty of options. This is a premium hardtail. It's titanium, it's handmade in Portland, Oregon, and you're gonna pay for it. Some people want that. Not all of us ride hardtails because we can't afford a full suspension. Some of us really like the way hardtails ride no matter what. And if you want the best of the best, you're willing to spend a little bit more. This could be a good option for you. We're going to see in the review. This bike is available as a frame only for $3,100 and as complete builds as well. You can customize them and get them to build them as crazy as you want. So today's build has an NV M6 carbon bar, an MV carbon stem, a Fox Factory 34. It's not a step cast, but that's just fine. I feel like these are a little bit burlier and handle a little bit more than the step cast, but the step casts are a little lighter. We've got Industry 9 Trail 270 wheels, which is perfect for a build like this. We've got Shimano XT 4-piston rotors with the Ice Tech pads, full XT crank, 170 mil. I love seeing that. XT cassette, XT derailleur, XT shifter. Ergon grips. This is a really well-spec'd bike. We got a Fox transfer on here. Sage has their own seats made. And this bike's a little bit different from the Flow Motion. The cable routing is much tidier. It's got a little bit different cable routing mechanism in here, but it looks really clean. Interesting that they're still going with that interrupted cable housing. Haven't seen that for years, but Sage likes to do that. We've also got a weld right here. The welds look absolutely flawless. I love how big the front triangle is. I love that we've got bosses inside and underneath as well. And I love just the simple, clean look of a clean hardtail. The seat tube's not higher than it needs to be. There's no extra gussets. It just looks like a bike, and I love that. They're not trying to make a straight line from the axle to the head tube. I think it just looks classic and classy. I really like the look of the chainstays. This is going to be an interesting bike. It's got room for up to a 34 tooth chainring on it. We're running 2.25s in the rear and 2.35s up front. You can fit bigger. There's plenty of clearance in here for bigger tires. But this is the bike that most people think of when they think of a titanium hardtail. They think well-spec'd, super light, handmade. This one's handmade in the US, and kind of XC/trail. And that on paper and on initial appearance, that looks like what this bike is going to excel at. And I can't wait to get it on the trail and tell you what it's actually like under my feet. Boy, this one's beautiful. I'm a little bit more impressed with this than the Flow Motion for some reason. The cable routing on that was kind of funky. It looks like it's all sorted out here. It's just a nice, clean, tidy package. Let's see if we can slam a transfer all the way down. Fox transfers are longer than a lot of posts, so you can't always, they take up more seat tube than some other brands. Let me see if I can get it all the way down there. Darn, that's as low as it goes. It's hitting something in here. I don't know if it's the bend or what, but that's as low as I can get it. I like it when we have water bottle bosses in here, unless it interferes with the seat. I mean, having 2 inches where that can't go down anymore really impacts sizing. So this is a size medium and it has a 436 reach, which is on par with the more traditional cross-country bike. And it has a 430 chainstay, so the reach is still longer than the chainstay. I like that. But man, I'm bummed because I don't have the legs of someone on a large, and if this could go lower, I'd be able to fit on this bike better. I hate it when I've got an inch or two left on a seat post that I can't use because it can't be fully inserted. That's a bummer. A lot of you are asking for more domestic made, US made frames on the channel, and what you're gonna see is that comes at a price. The craftsmanship is fantastic. Availability is a little bit better because they're built here and we don't have to ship them and we're not impacted by other things, and you're supporting local jobs. But it comes at a price, and this $3,100 for titanium, that's not unheard of for titanium, and it's not crazy. But you can get titanium frames from other manufacturers for $1,800 to $2,000 that are still built well. But like I said, you're not paying for that made in USA premium that you get on something like this. This bike weighs in at a super light 24.6 pounds on my scale with no pedals. That is impressive. Could you go lighter? Absolutely, but to do so would make it extremely more expensive. So this is probably about how I would build it. Something like this should be really great for when I'm coaching my high school NICA team and we're doing long rides, preparing for cross-country races. 130 travel, you know, if you're racing XC, you're probably closer to 100 to maybe 120, and you're gonna go super light on parts. But this looks like it fits that balance really well between being able to be super light and race XC on the weekends and still be burly enough to have some travel to do some trail bikes and some bike packing. I'm excited though. A lot of you guys live in places that aren't as steep as where I live, and you say, please start reviewing some bikes that aren't super slack. And here you go, this is your answer. So stay tuned for this review. Make sure you're subscribed so you're notified when it does drop. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a patron. For as little as $5 a month, you can make a huge difference to help me be able to make more of these videos more often. These Trail 270 wheels come with an i9 Hydra hub and Industry 9's aluminum spokes that are super light. And I really like them on full suspensions because it's a nice stiff wheel that doesn't roll. I like it more than a lot of carbon wheels. I'm curious to see how it feels on the Hardtail. I'm curious if that's going to beat us up. The other Sage that I reviewed, the Flow Motion, had a really nice titanium ride feel. Felt really great. And I'm expecting the same out of this. We will see. These Sage bikes also have a high bottom bracket. That makes them really fun to pop and play off of stuff. It makes them a little bit less planted in the corners. We'll see if that actually translates to stuff I noticed, real world, but I thought it was worth mentioning. All right, there's only one thing left to do, and that's listen to the sound of this beautiful i9 Hydra hub. Thanks for watching. There's a party in the mountains, and you're invited.